Welcome back everybody to another edition of What to Do Wednesday. The weather is way too beautiful outside to be in here shooting videos all day, so I'm going to make this one short and sweet.
What is the message you're trying to send to us?
This week we are talking about pedals, and more specifically, how to put them on. When we're talking about pedals, there is a left and a right side, and that goes for all bicycle pedals, whether they're flat pedals, clipless pedals like these. All the bicycle pedals in the world, at least that I'm aware of, have a left and a right side. There's a reason for that. Your right pedal here, like this, is a normal thread, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Your left pedal here is opposite thread. It's lefty-tighty, righty-loosey. That's really hard to say when you've been saying lefty-tight. I'm all confused now, but it is lefty-tight, right-loose, opposite of a traditional thread pattern. When you think about it in the sense of pedals being on the bike, if you're pedaling the bike forwards, they are trying to loosen themselves up. That sounds really weird, but that's so they don't force themselves in there and over-tighten themselves so you can't get them off down the road. Generally, your pedals will be marked. The left pedal will have a line or some sort of indication on the spindle, which is this piece, the bolt. It will have some kind of indication that it is a left or a right pedal. You've got your non-drive side crank arm. That is going to be your left crank arm on pretty much all bikes in the world. You've got your left pedal just like this, and it should thread in with your fingers. Very simple, very easy. It should thread in extremely easy. You don't need a wrench to get it in there. Get it all the way to the bottom, get it nice and finger tight. Why do you put it on there finger tight? Well, that's because you don't want to put the wrong pedal in the wrong side. I start with finger tightening, both cranks, just like I said. Typically these will be on the bike. You're not doing them freehand like this, but I'm a rebel and I do what I want. For these, they take a 15mm wrench, like I have here, a nice narrow one, so it actually fits between the spindle body and the crank arm. Put it on, just a little snug. You don't need to go crazy. You don't need a big long wrench. Once you get them finger tight, maybe an eighth of a turn or so, but not a whole lot more than that. Same for the other side, just a little snug, and you're good to go. That's it. That's all there is to it. That's putting pedals on. Why don't you want to over tighten the pedals? Well, you don't want to over tighten the pedals because the threads in here are traditionally aluminum and they're not easy to strip out, but it's not the hardest thing and it's not the strongest threads in the world. You don't want to over tighten it because you don't want to strip the threads out in here. Don't over tighten your pedals. We're going to zoom in here for just a second, not so you can see up my nose or anything weird like that, or all the dirt that I got in my teeth from my ride this morning. But you notice on this crank arm, where the pedal actually meets into the body, it's recessed on the crank arm. In this case, you're going to want to use a pedal washer, just like this. They typically come with any crank set. You can get them at any bike shop, but if your crank set needs them, probably comes with them. What happens here, you slide this, thread it in, the same exact way, finger tight. You want to make sure that that pedal washer, which is what that little washer is actually called, you want that pedal washer flat between the pedal spindle here and the crank arm. And then again, just a little snug, and your pedal's on. That's all there is to it. A quick note, there are two different size pedal spindles like we were talking about. That axle that actually comes out of the pedal right here, there are two different sizes. There is a 9/16 and a 1/2 inch. A good way to keep track is keep your old pedal when you go to the bike shop to get a new pedal. Remember, your local bike shop is the best place to go for questions and answers. And when you're there, don't cheap out. Buy some parts from them. Buy some chain lube if you're going to do your own work, because the local bike shop is where your questions get answered that I can't answer here on YouTube for you. With all of that seemingly useless knowledge, another edition of What to Do Wednesday has come and gone. Stay tuned because I may be dropping a new video on Friday if I can get it all shot and edited. Depends on how good the weather stays this week, because right now, well, it is absolutely gorgeous outside and I cannot wait to get done editing this video so I can go out and play. Make sure you mash that subscribe button if you haven't already. Throw me a thumbs up if you like the video and share it with a friend if you think it might help them. Or hey, if you just want to be a cool follower, drop some comments below. Let me know what y'all want to see in the future. For What to Do Wednesday, I'm Addison. Peace!